Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Science and Technology. So today we will see another episode, and this time we will talk about how to deploy a ReactJS application into Azure Container Instance. So there are 4 high-level steps to deploy the ReactJS application onto the Azure Container Instance. They are: Step 1, create a ReactJS build. Step 2, create a Docker image out of the ReactJS build. Step 3, create Azure Container Registry and push the Docker image into it. And Step 4, create Azure Container Instance from the pushed Docker image. So as for the step 1, navigate to your root directory of the ReactJS application and run the command npm run build. This will create the build out of your ReactJS application. Now you have to create a file called as a Docker file without any extension in the root folder of your ReactJS application, and then add the following lines of code in that file and save it. And now you need to create another file named .docker-ignore file in the root folder of the ReactJS application, and add the following lines of code in that file and save it. And then install Docker on your machine and also install Azure command line interface on your machine. So now you need to create a Docker image out of your ReactJS application build. Okay, so navigate to the root directory of the ReactJS application, open the Azure command line interface, and then run the following Docker command to create the Docker image. So please make sure that there is a dot at the end of the command. So it's like docker build -t react app image full stop. So here react app image is the build name of your React application. So once you run the command, you should see the following screen in the Azure CLI, and I have also written another command to list the images. So the image, whatever Docker image, whatever I have created, it is there in the list, React app image. Now you need to create the Azure Container Registry to hold your Docker image, whichever you have created in the previous step. So navigate to the Azure portal and log in with your credentials, and then click the create a resource link, and then search for Container Registry and select it. Click the create button and then enter the details, and then click the review and create button, and finally click the create button and wait for the resource to be created. Once the Azure Container Registry is created, navigate to that resource and click the access keys link from the left hand side menu, and then enable the admin user and note down the username and password. And then you need to log into the Docker and refer the Azure Container Registry. So for that, use the following command, docker login with your Azure Container Registry.azure.cr.io with a username and password whichever you have copied in the previous step. And if you have succeeded, you should see this screen with a login succeeded message. And then you need to tag the Docker image whichever you have created in the previous steps, and then push this Docker image to the Azure Container Registry. And then you need to create the Azure Container Instance to deploy your container image. So click the create a resource button and then search for Container Instance and then click create. Enter a container name, and then for the image source select the Azure Container Registry and then select the image that you had uploaded into your Azure Container Registry, and then click the Next Networking button. Fill the DNS name label and then click the Review and Create button and then Create button. And finally, note down the fully qualified domain name value, which is the URL for the Azure Container Instance that you had created now. And then navigate to the fully qualified domain name in another tab, and there you will see the ReactJS application running. And thanks for watching this video, and if you have any questions, please post under the comment section. Thank you.